Hey there, everybody. So finally got back around to doing a video of one of these Wheeler crits, and kind of picked a day that was really hot. So yeah, I think it was probably 98 or 100 or something like that. I don't know. It was really hot. I don't know, there was about 10 of us, I think, so it's just kind of rolling out, and then I kind of cut away to the more action-packed sections, I guess you could say. But anyway, I don't know, it was all I really can remember mostly about this race was it was pretty frustrating. You know, not very big numbers, and I don't know, I guess the wheelmen were doing a little more team tactic type racing, so I don't know. Looks like I know that Cody took off pretty early and took off for a few laps, and then I think there's 3 guys here up the road, and we didn't really chase super hard, but I don't know, typically just kind of back to I guess my original point here that I was trying to make. Normally we kind of just, since we had so many high numbers of DNA people, the Wheeler crits kind of evolved into more of a, more or less every man for himself, where you could, it was just a matter of, attack, try to get into a group and roll away from the rest of the group, and if you chased your teammates down, then so be it. And so sometimes it goes like that. If the numbers are a little more even, then this day it was kind of more of a race tactic wise, I guess you could say. And so I think some of the guys are so used to doing a more of the free-for-all type method that it kind of just, I don't know, maybe got away from us a little bit. But anyways, we're going, we catch these guys, and then long story short, Trevor just basically solos away, and I can see him, he's putting time on us, and the rest of the wheelmen are more or less blocking, and everybody else is, I'm trying to rally some guys together to pull him back, and it's just totally dysfunctional. And I don't know, there's Jeremy here in front of me. I think he just catted up, so he's in here giving it a go, working hard and everything, so he did a pretty good job. But anyway, looks like we're about to catch these 3 dudes up here, and I don't know, like I say, just kind of a frustrating day and really hot. So I don't know, I'll give you a few tips on some things I've sort of tried or do that kind of helps with a really hot day like this. And first thing is always try to get acclimated to the heat somewhat. Try to maybe go ride catch yourself out in the peak heat of the day if you can. Sometimes you don't have to go super hard, just get out in it and get your body used to sweating and stuff like that. And it seems like the more time you can kind of ease into it and spend out in the heat of it, then the more you get used to it, the easier it is to race in these kind of conditions. But there's one thing to be out and just go riding, rolling around and stuff, but the hard thing with the heat is when you actually go anaerobic for a period, it just, once you redline it, it just takes so long to recover from that. And old Eric Melton's on the attack, so he's getting after it a little bit. I think he's getting used to the heat somewhat there. He's riding a little more aggressively. But anyway, that's one thing. Get acclimated to the heat, and then you do some races like this, and you just kind of gotta burn your matches sparingly, because I'd say probably your power in general probably suffers about 20% of what it normally is, and I would say your matches, you probably I don't know. I guess it just depends on how used to it you are, but I would say you have somewhere around half your matches. But kind of clipped Norman right here. I was trying to follow Dan through that little hole and clipped him there a little bit. So we kind of sort of a soft attack here. You know, everything came back together, and you know, Dan's looking around, and we're kind of, it's all kind of, everybody, we strung out for a little bit, and then everybody more or less got back together, and then like we were rolling through this, rolling up through the headwind section, and we kind of just rolled away. So me and Dan took off for a couple laps or so, and I don't know, and that's kind of when I think Trevor got away just shortly thereafter. But so some other tips for surviving hot weather riding, racing and such is, I don't know, a lot of the guys, they're probably melted by now at this point, but one thing you can do is like the ice sock thing. You know, and I'd say it lasts for probably, I don't know, 30 minutes maybe, which definitely can kind of help you out, keep your core cooled off, you know, for the first part of the race, you know, and especially like on this particular, you know, the wheelers there, it's, you know, starts out really hot. By the time we're finished, it's really doesn't feel quite as bad. It's probably dropped, you know, maybe 5 degrees or more, so, you know, the sun's kind of going down, so it's not quite as that intense heat as it is when you're starting, or even, you know, the guys that are starting at 5:30 or whatever. So basically the little ice sock is just, you know, a sock, or I've used all kinds of random things, just something you can fill with ice and stuff down there in the back of your jersey, and just kind of let that ice melt slowly down your back, and it definitely has a cooling effect, I guess, on your core, and it definitely helps. I don't know, that's one little trick. And then another little trick, sometimes if it's really hot, I'll, you know, like you can do it here, but there's those restrooms, but I'll usually go in there and just take my jersey off and like put it under the sink and soak it with water, and start off with a soaking wet jersey and you know, that little ice pack, and that really helps quite a bit, you know, at least for the, you know, first 10 or 15 minutes. And you know, obviously, you know, in this race I rode a little conservatively, I guess you could say, but you know, I kind of edited out the middle part, and I was just kind of frustrated and angry because, you know, I could see, you know, probably 5 to 10 laps before that we were going to get lapped if we didn't start getting with it, and we just never did. And so we ended up, Trevor ended up coming around solo and lapping the field of, you know, probably by that point there was maybe 6 dudes left or so. But I don't know, it was just, you know, kind of frustrating, and I came really close to just like quitting, because I was getting pretty, you know, angry and frustrated. But then I just, you know, rode it out, chilled out a little bit, and just rode it out, and it was all good in the end, I guess. But so that, I think this is right. You know, me and Daniel had gone off for a little while and got caught, and so it's kind of all back together. And I think right in here somewhere, we're going back up into the wind straight, is kind of when, you know, we're kind of, I'm a little trying to recover a little bit winded, you know, and by this point starting to drop back a little bit. And I don't know if it was right in here. I think you know, somebody takes off right there. I don't know, I think that's Trevor there. So, you know, guys start chasing, and I don't know if they ever actually connected up to him. It looked like it was pretty strung out, and, you know, I don't know if that's the initial move right there. But, you know, I was a little bit trying to play a little conservative and just, you know, kind of assumed that it would, you know, this didn't really seem team tactic wise at this point. It just seemed like everybody was kind of attacking each other a little bit here and there, you know, like we typically do, just trying to go out there and, you know, see how much you can handle, I guess. Try to work on that race fitness or whatever. So yeah, basically more or less, just rode away, and lots of blocking and trying to chase, getting attacked right after I took a hard pull or whatever and stuff like that. So I don't know, whatever. So yeah, anyways, most of the players were all in, all the really strong dudes were all at the Intelligentsia Cup in Chicago up there racing. So, and sure, a lot of dudes, like just the normal guys that would show up, 2s and 3s and stuff like that, were, didn't really want to deal with the heat too much, because it seemed like all the fields, especially after Tulsa Tough, it definitely kind of thins out this time of year. But I imagine it should be picking up just because there's some, more racing right around the corner. Got Hotter Than Hell and Gateway, and there's the race in Enid and stuff. So, a lot of the cyclocross guys are just, starting to get out and hit it, try to get ready for the cross season. So it seemed like there's a little kind of everything dies out right after the Tulsa Tough, and then, picks up, right around this time, seems like. But like, he's up the road, and so I was kind of one of my first attempts to try to chase it down. But so yeah, I don't know, been trying to ride a little more, so riding the heat more so to try to get, just testing myself out, trying to make a little push for the end part of the season. So felt pretty rough most of the race, but then I don't know, towards the last maybe 5 laps or so, started feeling pretty decent, I guess, or better maybe. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead, and at this point, this is probably 15 minutes in, we're gonna go ahead and just fast forward to the last, I think 3.5 laps, something like that. And so basically everybody's together, and Trevor has lapped us at this point. He's still in there riding with us, so he's basically a lap up on everybody. And we're taking 3 laps to go, and so basically we just Trevor they waved Trevor through, and so he, I can kind of hear their, what their plans are going to be, what they're, sometimes if you just listen to, the guys that are trying to set up some kind of race-winning move, it's not hard to determine what they're going to do and stuff. So, we're going on just, initially I wanted to be maybe a couple wheels back, but, this was, I didn't know if Trevor was just going to keep a high tempo, or he was, somebody was going to go, but he was keeping a pretty good tempo, so I figured this would be, as good a spot as any. So, it's basically just racing for second at this point, but, since I figured I'd stuck it out this long, I might as well try to make something out of it, I guess. And yeah, so I don't know, maybe a little bit boring for this last little bit here, but we were getting plenty of heckling from the PA system, as Trevor was closing in on us, and but it's hard sometimes. It's hard when it's not going right. I don't know, it's just kind of hard to describe the frustration, but whatever, it is, still a good time out there riding your bike and everything. So I guess we're coming up here, coming up on the one to go. Got the old Ferris wheel there off in the distance. Looks like the Ferris wheel traffic was actually even a little low. So come through here, and then, you know, get swarmed a little bit. And so I had Stefan and Daniel there, so they're trying to kind of get a little train established. And, you know, right at this point I'm thinking, well, probably Stefan's going to be the wheel, you know, so I thought he was going to just keep rolling through there, but he kind of stalled out, and Daniel kind of took his spot, and then Daniel jumped there, and so I was still kind of thinking, you know, well, Stefan's going to jump pretty hard here, and then he kind of just dropped anchor right there, so then I had to go back to, well, guess I'm just go from here, so, you know, took off. So basically I'm just trying to get, you know, Daniel ends up second, and I held off everybody else to get third, so I don't know, finally got my first podium, I guess, of the year, so guess I'm okay with that. But yeah, anyways, yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll get some more of these. We'll have some good action in some of the next ones. So yeah, thanks for watching.